Hello, welcome to the course on emerging domain electronics engineering. This is lecture 24 and in this lecture we will see what are the elements of communication system. So, first of all, what is communication? So, communication is basically sending of information or the transmission of some information from the transmitter to the receiver, or if we are sending some information from one end to some another end, then this phenomena is known as the communication. So, in a communication system basically there are several elements which basically contributes towards the healthy communication or for the successful communication between the transmitter and the receiver. Some elements are used which are known as the elements of communication system. So, let us say for this communication system some examples are radio broadcasting, television broadcasting, radio telegraphy, mobile communication, computer communication and so on. So, two or more people communicate with each other by using some sound signal, it is known as again a communication system. If we are transmitting some information, if we are transmitting some images with the help of our mobile phone, that is also a type of a communication system. If we are let us say transmitting with the help of microphone, and if we are using some let us say speakers, loudspeakers, so again it is a communication system. So, in our surroundings we are basically we have seen so many type of communication systems. In our home we have D2H, so that is again a communication system. Mobile communication, that is also a communication system. So, first of all we will see what is the block diagram of communication system. So, starting with the transmitter side or starting with the very first element which is the information source. After that the input transducer, next we have the transmitter, we have the channel, simultaneously we have the noise also. After that we have the receiver, output transducer, destination. So, if we are starting with the information source, means whatever the information is generated either in the form of sound, either in the form of some pictures, some videos, that are basically the information source. Now, how we can transfer? So, let us say for this audio communication, if we will take a small example, audio communication. So, we have the microphone. So, what this microphone perform here is, it basically converts the voice signal into the electrical signal. So, what is this thing called as? It is called as the transducer, which is, if it is fitted at the input side, it is known as the input transducer. If this same transistor is same type of transducer is used, so at the output, that is the output transducer, but the role will be different for input transducer and the output transducer. So, here if we have let us say the voice signal at this particular end, so this with the help of microphone, with the help of this mic, we can convert our voice signal into the electrical form. After this, these signals will be transmitted. So, we will use some technique how we can add the security feature, how we can perform some modulation onto that signals, so they can transmit it properly over the channel. We will talk about the channels also, what is basically the channel. So, means our signals basically, what this transmitter is transmitting the signals, they will basically propagate through this channel. So, during this propagation, this noise basically hinders, it basically hinders the actual signal, it hinders the information source. So, this noise basically deteriorates the performance of the communication system. So, after that these electrical signals will received at the receiver side, and with the help of the output transducer we will convert this electrical signal back into the uh, desired form, which is helpful for the user. So let's say we'll have the speech signal which was transmitted from here. So after the output transducer means the loudspeaker, which basically converts the electrical signal back into the audio signal, and at the receiver side, at the destination side, the user will receive the information which is transmitted. So these all blocks basically contributes towards the communication system. So if we'll talk uh, about the information source, so starting with that, if we want to establish some communication, then the sender or the transmitter has to generate some information. Transmitter or the sender has to basically produce some information which has to be transmitted. So to establish this communication bridge between the sender and the receiver, first we need a information to send. After this, this information basically originate in the form of information source, and this information basically generated by the sources in the form of sound, which is the human speech signals, the pictures, which is the image source, the word, which is the plain text in some form of particular language such as English, French, German, and so on. So we have these type of information source, either in the form of sound, in the form of pictures, or somewhere in the form of videos also. Some temperature thing is also kind of signal. So once this information source we have, now we have the input transducer. So as we have talked about that a transducer is a device which convert one form of energy into the another form. This is the definition for transducer. But in the present scenario here, we are talking about that a transducer is present at the input side. So for let's say the speech signals, for the voice signal, the transducer is basically we are using here is the microphone, the mic, which is placed between the information source and the transmitter. So this input transducer is between the information source and the transmitter section. So a microphone basically convert the voice signal into the electrical form. We have, let's say, laser. Let's say we have the laser, we have the LEDs, we can use these as also a transmitter. So whatever the information we have, we can convert that information into optical form, means in the form of light with the help of lasers or LEDs. We have studied what is LED, how LED works. So that is these are the examples of the input transducer. We have so many other examples also. We have the pressure transducer also, and we have the temperature sensors. Sensors are also a kind of a transducer. After that, we have the transmitter block. So whatever the information which is provided by the input transducer, that has to be transmitted over the channel. So before transmitting to the channel, the transmitter basically performs some task. So this task basically consists of the modulation. If we are adding some security feature, so some coding is also there, encoding we can say. So the modulation, the encoding, these are the important tasks performed by the transmitter. So the modulation, basically what is the modulation? We will see separately the definition what is modulation, but with the help of this modulation, the strength of the signal increasing without variation in the parameters, means without changing the original signal, we are basically increasing the strength, so that this information can travel up to long distance. So, the resulted signal overcome the various effects which make it to become weaker. Means, as we have talked about that, once the information is transmitting without the help of modulation, then it cannot travel at a large distance. So, the modulation has to be performed before transmitting through the channel. So, modulation, and the next thing we can say is the encoding. These are the two important tasks performed by the transmitter. Now, the communication channel. So, communication channel is basically the medium through which the information or the signals will be traveling. So, the channel can be classified as wired or wireless. Means, if we are using a wire as a medium, or if we are connecting both the transmitter and the receiver, then it is called as a wired medium. If no medium is there between the transmitter and the receiver, then it is called as a wireless medium. So, we can say that we have some examples of wired channel, including coaxial cable, optical fiber, twisted pair, telephone lines. Whereas the examples of some wireless is air, water, vacuum. Means, we have seen D2H, that is basically work on the wireless channel. We have, let us say, free space FSO, free space optics communication. Means, we are transmitting the optical signals directly to the atmosphere without without any wired medium. So, these are the examples of the wireless medium. So, we can say that although channel provides a way for communication, but the drawback is that this channel basically attenuates the signal what we are transmitting, because noise basically interfere these signals in the channel. So, noise basically attenuates it, decrease the strength of the signals, input signals. So, the noise basically, what is noise? Noise is an unwanted signal that enters the communication system. So, in a communication system, basically we can say that noise affect communication system at each and every step, starting from the transmitter. Let us say, if we are talking about, let us say, LEDs. So, what happen in LEDs? In the PN junction diode, we have seen that it consists of, the current is due to both majority and minority carrier, and due to this minority carrier, this device are called as a noisy device. Noisy device. So, these noise can be internal noise or external. So, internal noise means, in BJT if we will talk about that, this minority carrier, the current due to this minority charge carrier is known as the internal noise. Whereas this external noise, that is due to the surroundings, due to, let us say, in a communication system, due to thunderstorms, due to lightning, basically it basically affects the communication, it affects the signal. So, these are the external noise, these are the examples of external noise. So, noise basically, these are the unwanted signal, it degrades the performance of the communication system. So, we can say that the major contribution of noise, or basically noise affects majorly in the channel. After that, we have the receiver. Means, once the information is transmitting through the channel, at the receiver side, these signals will be received and converted this signal back into the original form, which is useful for the human. So, if we will take an example of TV set, So TV set is the example of receiver. So the TV set receives the signal sent by the TV transmission station and convert the signal into a form which is easily understandable by the human who are watching the television. Similarly, we have the FM receivers also. In our mobile phone we have the FM receivers. So whatever the FM is broadcasting, the frequency is broadcasting, if we are able to tune that particular frequency with the help of tuner, then we can receive. So FM receiver is again a type of receiver. Now we have the output transducer. As we have talked about that the transducer convert one form of energy into another form. So here the output transducer basically convert the electrical signal into a non-electrical signal form, means the electrical signals into the sound signal, light signal, or some another form. As we are talking about in an audio communication system, at the receiver side we received the electrical signal, and with the help of loudspeaker, these electrical signals are converted to the audio signals, audio or speech signals. So we have the loudspeaker, we have the photodiodes, we have talked about photodiodes. We have the photodiode also, that is also a kind of output transducer. So this transducer basically, output transducer convert this electrical form into the another form. After that, the destination is the final stage in a communication system, means at the receiver side the destination is the last thing. So generally human are at this particular place which basically receives the signals. So a destination is a place where human consume this information, right? For example, if you are watching TV, so we want to, so we are basically considered as a destination. So these are the elements of communication system. Now we will talk about what is the modulation. As we have seen that in a communication system, the most important thing is the transmitter and the receiver. So modulation process. So in the modulation process, there are two signals. One is the modulating signal and one is the carrier. So the modulating signal is nothing but our message signal, baseband signal or the message signal. We can write this as message. Means whatever the information we want to transfer, we want to transmit through the channel, that is called as a modulating signal or the baseband signal. Somewhere it is referred as a low frequency signal. Low frequency signal. And we cannot transmit directly this low frequency signal because noise affect these type of signals. So with the help of this modulation, we can basically improve the strength of the signals. So modulation process is the process in which some parameters of the carrier wave such as the amplitude, frequency and phase are varied in accordance with the instantaneous value of message. Means these properties of the carrier signal are varied in accordance with the instantaneous value of message signal. This is termed as the modulation. So the important task performed by the transmitter is the modulation. So here we have, let's say we have the CT equals to AC cos omega CT. So we can say that AC is the amplitude omega c is the frequency, although omega c is the angular frequency, and omega c t, this is called as the phase. So let's say if we are talking about that, if we are changing the amplitude of the carrier in accordance with the, let's say mt is message, which is am cos omega mt. So let's say if we are varying the amplitude AC in accordance with the instantaneous value of message signal mt, then it is termed as amplitude modulation. Then it is termed as amplitude modulation AM, by keeping other quantities constant, means by keeping phase and frequency constant. After that, if we are changing the frequency of this carrier in accordance with the instantaneous value of the message signal mt by keeping amplitude constant and phase varied indirectly, then this type of modulation technique is called as the frequency modulation technique, FM. And the last thing is, for this continuous type of waveforms, if we are altering this phase, if we are changing the phase by keeping amplitude constant whereas the frequency varied indirectly, then this type of modulation technique is known as PM, the phase modulation. So we have the amplitude modulation, we have the frequency modulation, and we have the phase modulation. So we can say that the modulation is basically, it is a process, it is a technique in which some parameters of the carrier signal or the carrier wave in accordance is varied in accordance with the instantaneous value of message signal. The term is known as the modulation. So the modulation is the primary task performed by the transmitter. So once we perform this modulation, we increase the strength of the signal. So once these signals are received at the receiver side, so these signals will be recovered back. So the process is known as the demodulation, or the receiver basically demodulates the signal back and it will finally convert it into a original form of signals. So demodulation is basically the opposite of modulation. Demodulation is the reverse process of modulation, means we are extracting our information back or we are extracting the information into the original form. That is called as the demodulation. So demodulation is the primary task performed by a receiver, whereas modulation is the primary task performed by the transmitter. Whereas one more thing is there, decoding. During transmission, we just encode the data. We just encode the data means we are adding some bits in the information signals so that our information will be secured, because if we are transmitting wirelessly, means without any medium, without any wire, without any coaxial cable or optical fiber, so anyone can capture those signals and they can recover. They can build our own receiver and they can recover the information. So to avoid that, we are just performing the encoding, means we are adding some bits. There are some techniques that how we can perform the encoding. So we are basically adding some bits during the transmission, and we finally recover. We finally eliminate those bits at the receiver side. So this is known as the decoding. So encoding and decoding. So basically the demodulation and decoding are the important tasks performed by the receiver, whereas encoding and modulation are the primary tasks performed by the transmitter. Now we have the types of modulation. So on the basis of the continuous wave and the pulse modulation or pulse wave modulation also. So we are basically dividing these modulations as CW modulation, continuous wave modulation, and pulse modulation. So as we have talked about that, if we have the continuous waveform like something this Ct equals to AC cos omega Ct. So we have, let's say, this sinusoidal type of waveform as a carrier. So on the basis of this, either we have this amplitude modulation or we have omega Ct, which is called as the angle modulation, because we have A cos theta. So this is amplitude and this is angle. This is amplitude. So if we are varying amplitude by keeping phase constant, it is nothing but amplitude modulation. If we are fixing the amplitude and we are varying phase or we are varying the angle, it is known as the angle modulation. And further, in angle modulation we have two categories. One is the frequency modulation FM, and the another one is the phase modulation, which is PM. And here in the pulse modulation, means we have, let's say, we are providing these pulses. So we have again the digital modulations, analog modulation. So this digital modulation, the very famous PCM, pulse code modulation, PCM. We have the further PCM, we have the delta modulation, or we have, let's say, adaptive delta modulation. So these type of modulation lies in the category of digital modulation technique. Whereas this analog modulation technique, we have the PAM, pulse amplitude modulation. We have pulse width modulation and pulse position modulation. So amplitude means if we are changing the amplitude of these pulses, so it is termed as the pulse amplitude modulation. If we are changing the width of these pulses, something like this, then it is nothing but the PWM, pulse width modulation. This is PPM, this is pulse position modulation. This is position, this is width, and this is amplitude. So in this pulse position modulation, what happens is, if the position of these pulses, if they are shifted, the width remains same, the width of each pulse remains same, whereas the position, if these positions are changed, then this type of modulation technique is known as pulse position modulation, PPM. And here, if we have this PCM and delta modulation and adaptive delta modulation, so these are the techniques, these are the modulation techniques which are helpful for, which are basically lies in the category of digital modulation techniques. So while we have digital signals, when the baseband signal is of a digital type, then these techniques are useful. When we have the continuous type of signals, then we are using this continuous wave modulation. And once we have these pulses, then the technique is known as the pulse modulation. Then we have, let's say, this analog modulation, which is PAM, PWN, and PPM. So most probably in our next lecture we will see that what is the amplitude modulation, this one, how amplitude modulation is performed, how we can perform the amplitude modulation, what are the techniques useful for the modulation, how we can recover those information back with the help of demodulators. Again we will see some techniques how we can demodulate our signal back. After that, what are the applications of AM? We will see some mathematical relationships also, which basically shows that what is the transmitted power during the AM broadcasting, what is the received power, something like that. So we will see the AM, and after that we will see the the classification of AM as DSB SC, double sideband suppressed carrier, and single sideband vestigial sideband VSB, which is used in television broadcasting, TV broadcasting. VSB, vestigial sideband modulation. So, we will study this. These are the references. Thank you.